Good day everyone, this is Jen's fashion channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. This channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill, and today I'm going to teach you how to cut this beautiful bustier dress with a stylish neckline and a stylish hem. So if it is what you are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then the next thing is to get my neck curve, and I'm using 3.5 inches for my neck width and 5 inches for my neck depth. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to come up from this point by 1.5 inches diagonally. I will mark and I will connect like so to get a perfect round curve. For the stylish neckline you can see on the dress, we'll come back to it, okay? So let's continue drafting. Then for my shoulder, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it. Then I'm going to go down from the shoulder point by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I will mark it and I will connect it to the neck weight like so. Then the next thing is to get my armhole depth, and for me to get my armhole depth, I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to draw a horizontal line from the armhole depth like so as my chest line. Then the next thing is to get my armhole curve, and for me to get my armhole curve, I'm going to get the midpoint of this my armhole line. I will mark it. Then I'm going to go in from this point by 1/2 inch. I will mark it. Then on the chest line, I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 4. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect these 3 points like so to get a perfect armhole curve. Then I will add 1/2 inch joining allowance on the shoulder line. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then the next thing is to get my vertical measurement. So I'm going to come down by 10 inches for my bust line. I will mark and draw the line. Then the next thing is to get my under bust line. And for me to get my under bust line, I will come down by 3.5 inches from the bust line. But if you're a bigger size, you come down by 4 inches. If you're a smaller size, you come down by 3 inches. I will mark and draw the line. Then I'm going to come down by 17 inches for my waistline. Then I will come down by 24 inches for the full top length, and I'm going to add 1 inch for hemming allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. Then I will add 1/2 inch for joining. I will mark it on the bust line. Then I'm going to connect it straight down to the hemming allowance line like so. Then the next thing is to get my under bust dart. And for me to get my under bust dart, I'm going to take the difference between the bust line and the under bust line, and I have 3.5 inches there. So I'm going to divide it by 2. It will give me 1.75 inches. Then I will divide 1.75 inches by 2 again. It will give me 0.88 inch. So I'm going to take 0.88 inch to the left and 1.75 inches to the right. That's if the difference between your bust line and the under bust line is like 4 inches. You divide a 4 by 2, it will give you 2. You divide 2 by 2 again, it will give you 1. Take 1 to the left and 2 to the right. Are we on the same page? Then I'm going to come down by 1 inch from the bust point. This is to remove any form of pointiness on the bust area. I will mark and connect to the under bust dart like so. Then I will connect the under bust dart straight down to the waistline like so. Then from the hip point, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it to the waist dart like so. Then the next thing is to get where my princess dart will fall. So I'm going to measure this my armhole curve, and I have about 9 inches there. So I'm going to get the midpoint of 9 inches. It will give me 4.5 inches. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect it to the bust point like so. Then from this point, I'm going to go up by 0.75 inch and go down by 0.75 inch. You can go up by half an inch and go down by half an inch. I will mark and connect like so. Then I'm going to measure my dart intake here, and I have 1.5 inches. That's 0.75 up and 0.75 down. So I'm going to extend this line with 1.5 inches, okay? Then I'm going to mark it on the chest line. I'm going to add the same 1.5 inches. Then I will mark and I will connect like so to create a new armhole curve, because if you cut without extending, the armhole curves will not align. Then for the stylish curve you can see on the neckline, I'm going to go up by 2 inches from those points, okay? Then I will mark it and I'm going to connect it like so. Then I will take my horizontal measurement on the bust line. I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4. I will mark it. On the underbust line, I'm going to take my underbust measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here. Then I will mark it. On the waistline, I'm going to take my waist measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here. I will mark it. On the full top length, I'm going to take my hip measurement divide by 4. I will mark it and mark the same thing on the hemming allowance line like so. Then I'm going to connect my markings. Then for the stylish hem, I'm going to get the midpoint of this my hip line, okay? I will mark it. Then from this point, I'm going to go up by 3 inches, okay? I will mark it. And from this point, I'm going to also go up by 3 inches. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect like so. Because of this curve, I won't be making use of the hemming allowance line again, okay? But if I'm transferring this on the fabric, okay, I'm going to add the hemming allowance, okay, following the curve so it can align properly. Then I'm going to add 2 inches joining allowance on all this part. I will mark and connect my markings to serve as a guide for cutting. So guys, that's it. We'll now go ahead and cut. So follow me closely. Let's cut. So guys, that's it. You can see how perfect it came out. We'll now move over to the back panel. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will take out my zipper allowance, and I'm using 1 inch for my zipper. You can use 1.5 inches. It is not cast in stone. Then I will get my neck curve, and I'm using 3.5 inches for my neck width and 2 inches for my neck depth. I will mark and connect like so. Then I will get my shoulder measurement divide by 2. I will mark it. Then I'm going to come down by 1 inch from the shoulder point for my shoulder slope. I will mark it and connect it to the neck width like so. Then I will come down by 8.1 inches for my armhole depth, just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I'm going to draw a horizontal line from the armhole depth as my chest line. Then I will add half an inch joining allowance on the shoulder. I will mark and I will connect like those. Then the next thing is to get my armhole curve. So I'm going to get the midpoint of this my armhole line. I will mark it. And on the chest line, I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4. I will mark it and I'm going to connect like so. Then the next thing is to get my vertical measurement. So I'm going to come down by 10 inches for my bust line, and I will come down by 15 inches for my waistline, and come down by 24 inches for the full top length. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for hemming allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then I will take my nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2. I will mark it on the bust line, and I will connect to the hemming allowance line like so. And the next thing is to get my dart. So I'm going to go in on this my waistline point by half an inch and go up by half an inch. Then I'm going to extend this my line with 1 inch. I will mark and connect like so. Then on this hip line, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it to the waist dart like so. Then I will take my horizontal measurement. On the chest line, I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. On the bust line, I'm going to take my bust measurement divide by 4. I will add 2 inches. On the waistline, I'm going to take my waist measurement divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here plus 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it. Then on the full top length, I'm going to take my hip measurement divide by 4. I'm going to add 2 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it and mark the same thing on the hemming allowance line like so. Then I will connect my markings to serve as a guide for cutting. On this my waist point, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. I will mark and connect up like so and also connect down like so. Then I'll go ahead and take my zipper allowance. On this waistline, I'm going to start taking my zipper from the 1/2 inch I went in with. Then I will carry on like so. Then I will connect my markings. So guys, that's it. I'll go ahead and cut. So guys, that's it. You know, on the front part of the dress, we went up from this point by 3 inches. That's from the full top length point. We went up by 3 inches. So we are going to replicate the same on the back part of the dress so that they can align. So I'm going to go up from those points. I will mark and I will connect back like so. Then I will cut it out. So guys, that's it. You can see how perfect it came out. And this is all I have for you for today. If you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. See you in my next video. Bye.